G'day y'all, number one Machop fan here with another episode of Machop's Musings. As you may recall in a previous episode, I speculated the possibility of a Pokémon Yellow remake called ThunderYellow, and I really pushed for it with all the speculation going on about last night's Pokémon Direct. That Pokémon Direct has come and gone, and we did not get ThunderYellow. I was wrong. Instead, we got Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. However, I'm not giving up on the idea of ThunderYellow. I think I may have been a bit too early. In hindsight, I'm beginning to think it's actually more likely we'll be getting ThunderYellow next year. And here's my reasoning. In 1998, the Pokémon anime began in the USA on the 8th of September, and just 4 days later, the original Pokémon Yellow was released in Japan. Further evidence that I believe that we will be getting Pokémon ThunderYellow at all includes the upcoming release of the movie I Choose You. Although that's going to be in July this year, that's for Japan. And for all we know, in America, it may be released on the 20th anniversary of the start of the anime there, September 8. And for all we know, ThunderYellow could be released around the same time, or even 4 days later, like Yellow in Japan. Furthermore, there's been a lot of focus on Pikachu itself in Sun and Moon, with the release of multiple Pikachu-themed Z crystals. The Picanium Z, the Picashunium Z, arguably also the Alola Z. And furthermore, regarding the Alola forms, all of the Alola forms are of first-generation Pokemon who are introduced to us in Red and Blue, and by extension Yellow. Now, you may be thinking, one of those Pokemon was Meowth, who was not available in Pokemon Yellow, because it was one of Team Rocket's Pokemon. That doesn't mean we can't get Kanto Meowth, though, based on that. First of all, in Fire Red and Leaf Green, we could get Meowth on the Sevi Archipelago. And what's to say, and this I speculated this in the previous video as well, which I'll link in the description below, what's to say we can't revisit the Sevi Islands post-game in a Pokémon Yellow remake? Furthermore, if you were to trade a Kanto form Pokemon to Sun and Moon and breed it, no matter what the circumstances, the offspring will be a Alola form. That's why you can't use Kanto Ninetales with Drought, for instance, in VGC. Despite how awesome it would be, it just doesn't work that way. It could work in reverse as well. If you were to trade an Alolan Meowth or Persian to Kanto and breed it there, its offspring would be Kanto Meowth, and that is how you would get Meowth, with trade, as you would expect. So, what could ThunderYellow, aside from a whole bunch better graphics like 3D, have that Yellow doesn't? First of all, obviously, Mega Evolution. If you remember Pokemon Origins, Mr. Fuji actually gave Red a Keystone and a Charizardite X, which were used in the battle against Mewtwo, spoiler alert, in the last episode. Mr. Fuji could give you that Keystone at the same point in Yellow after you rescue him from the Pokemon Tower. But the actual Mega Stones, you probably wouldn't be able to find until after you've beaten the Elite Four. There is an enormous amount of potential for post-game, beyond just going to Cerulean Cave and battling and capturing Mewtwo. Another popular example, since Yellow was an anime-based game, so too could ThunderYellow, and as such, we could visit the Orange Islands! I would love to be able to visit the Orange Archipelago in a game, I really would. And ThunderYellow presents that possibility. You could compete in those 4 Orange Crew gym challenges, get the Coral Eye badge, Sea Ruby badge, Spike Shell badge, Jade Star badge, and Z crystals, as opposed to TMs, next to them. And you could also find other Z crystals on smaller islands that don't have gyms. Furthermore, you could battle Drake on Pomelo Island, and like how you could beat Red and trigger the credits in Gold, Silver, Crystal, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver, so could you do the same if you beat Drake? Furthermore, we could visit the Sevi Islands post-game. Some of them would have Z crystals. In Fire Red and Leaf Green, I remember you could visit 1 island, 2 island, and 3 island before beating the Elite Four. You could possibly get a Z ring from one of those islands, most likely 1 island, which logically will be the first island you'd visit. Also, there is one issue that makes this unlikely to happen, and that's the game corner. As we all know full well, around the time of Generation 4, the OS put their hands up and said, "Oh my god, exposing children to gambling makes them real-life gamblers," which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, and this game proves it. Yes, you could play slot machines in the original Yellow, Red, Blue, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Diamond, Pearl, some versions of Platinum, but they, especially in Red, Blue, and Yellow, had anti-gambling messages. They had people who blew everything on those slot machines. They had those warnings. Furthermore, with regards to actually getting prizes through slot machines, you had an alternative, coin buying, and everyone knows that was better. So, but you can't just throw the game corner away in Yellow or Red or Blue or whatever, because it was central to the story plot. It was the first time you met Giovanni of Team Rocket underneath the game corner, which was controlled by Team Rocket. So you can't just throw it away so easily. As such, what I propose is you keep the game corner, you keep the slot machines, you keep the anti-gambling messages, you keep the coin buying, because that's all that's really worth it for getting, say, Porygon, or the Dragon Rage, Hyper Beam, I think, and Substitute TMs. But make the machines inaccessible. And that's not too hard either. Say they've all broken down, there's a computer glitch or something, or have a handful of people, well, there were a handful of people playing them in the original games, but have every machine taken by people. It's not that hard. Really not that hard. You can do it. Now the last question I have is, will it be released on Nintendo Switch? I think not, if it's just Yellow Remake. However, and this is something that's been speculated for a bloody long time, if they ever decide to do a game where you can visit all regions, think start wherever you want, and wherever you start determines levels and story plot and whatever, only then could that go on Nintendo Switch, because I'm pretty sure Switch would have the capacity, the capability to actually run an all regions game. And an all regions game could possibly be, well, I might be pushing here, but maybe it could be patched, or add expansion packs maybe, as we introduce new generations worth of Pokemon. But that's for another musings, if I ever get around to doing a Musings on an all regions game. Hey, it's an interesting idea, stay tuned. But that will be it for this episode of Machop's Musings. Feel free to leave your opinions and such in the comments below, criticism, like, dislike, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time.